You believe it's already December? That's crazy. 3.5 weeks left in the year. Let's have some fun. The good news, not a lot of mortgage talking here, which means some more fun stuff for this week's episode. So let's get right into it. We will cover the mortgage stuff as usual, real quick. Rates, they're down a little bit. That's good. 6.84. Last week was like 6.9 something. Why is that? Well, again, here's a chart just showing the same thing. Remember, green is good. The problem is we've had a good run. You can see we've hit this like top layer. I just don't know that we're getting any better than that in the immediate future. Time will tell. We'll see if this is right. Big reason why. This guy, Scott Besnet, he's a billionaire, hedge fund guy, or private equity guy, or whatever he is, billionaire. He was nominated by President Trump to run the Treasury. So the market really likes this guy apparently because he's apparently very fiscally sound, meaning he's not going to let inflation get out of hand, supposedly, but he's going to keep a good tight eye on the economy. He's going to help make sure that we don't just go into more and more and more debt. It's a big and tall order when you're dealing with our government. So we'll see. But they say he's good for the government from a financial standpoint, and therefore the markets have reacted favorably to him. Another nominee, not necessarily having anything to do with us and mortgage rates, but I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Elon Musk got rejected for a second time for $50 billion pay package from Tesla. So, like back in the day, I don't know how many years ago, he said, if I can take the stock price to this, you owe me $50 billion. They're like, yeah, sure, because they didn't think he could do it. He did it. So, my mind, I think he should be awarded the $50 billion. I don't know all the details, obviously, but if you do what you say you're going to do, and he made a lot of people rich doing it, good for him. I did see his net worth. I had no idea. $353 billion. His net worth has jumped in 1 month, $91 billion. $91 billion in 1 month. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. So anyway, God love him. You may not like him, but I'm just telling you, I respect the hell out of that guy. Some more folks. So this goes back to rates, and this is where some folks are worried about the rates for next year, and maybe them rates not coming down, or maybe possibly going up, is because things like whether it be tariffs, whether it be tax cuts, or things like this, where they want to privatize Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, all those things could potentially have a negative impact on mortgage rates. And that's the other reason why I don't see rates coming down real soon. I think the market's going to want to see what happens maybe more in Q1, Q2, when the new administration gets in and gets settled. So time will tell. We'll see what happens. Along with those things, what would be good is if the construction fees would, because I did an episode probably about a month ago where we talked about like 25% of cost is permits. So while they do think Trump will help kind of eliminate some of those red tape, whatever it is, some of the downfall or the trade-off is that if he does do those tariffs I talked about, and he does go on a massive deportation of help, a lot of that labor are building homes, and a lot of those tariffs are lumber and other things coming from outside the U.S. So it's good. On one hand, you say he's going to help construction. On the other hand, if those things do go in place, that wouldn't be too great. Housing trends for the DFW area. I just thought this was interesting. Year over year, we have a 13% increase in home starts. Overall, as a whole market, we've been relatively flat this year in Dallas-Fort Worth. We actually have Texas and Florida have what's, some experts are seeing as an oversupply. I think that's more for the Austin area. It certainly does. You can see here, and I won't go into all the details, but for the most part, Dallas-Fort Worth has had good unemployment. We've got good folks moving in. Prices are held stable. Here is a little heat map down the bottom right of where new lots are coming on board for builders. Makes total sense that it's on the outskirts of the middle of the city because that's where the land is. But you can also see the top left, just the breakdown in terms of price. And the part to notice about the top chart, the upper left one, purple is the new stuff. So you can see that they're building more and more and more compared to what's been sold out. So they are still building more here. Maybe if there ever becomes an oversupply, that could help home prices stabilize and maybe even go down. Not that that's a great thing, but it may make things a little more affordable. Along those lines, apparently, we've hit a decade high of mortgage rejections. Like a lot of that, obviously, is houses are more expensive, rates, and you guys know the story. But I just thought it was interesting that it's a 10-year high for the number of rejections we have. So, in order for Dallas to help with that, apparently they got another $15 million boost to make a total toward this fund that Dallas has set up for affordable housing is now at $41 million. So that is good. But the median DFW rent is over $1,900 a month. I know you friends watching up in Seattle or wherever you're watching this is like 1,900. That's really inexpensive. True, relatively speaking, but here in Dallas Fort Worth, that's crazy. It's jumped 17% from 2021 to 2022. I know it's slightly old data, but that's just how these things work. All right, the fun stuff. Mark Cuban, I thought this was interesting. Said he's invested over 20 million on Shark Tank since 2009, and he's lost 20 million across 85 companies. So I've made some bad investments in my life. It's just nobody's perfect, including Mr. Cuban. The only difference is my investments, nobody knows about them. I didn't have to do it on TV. So I just thought that was really interesting. Good for Cuban to be honest and open about that. Here's a little shout out for DFW Airport. Apparently, the TGI Fridays, TGI Fridays is the #1 U.S. airport bar in America. Way to go. Number 2, apparently in Chicago O'Hare. I've not eaten at Billy Goat Tavern. Apparently, it's really good. This was neat. Existing home sales surge, biggest monthly gain since 2022. Like, good for them. But in this article I found, look at these houses. $40 million for a house here in Dallas Fort Worth. It's the highest price listing right now, apparently. It's got a Parisian theater with marble finishes. I don't know why you need a Parisian theater versus a normal theater, but good for them. South Lake Mansion has a bowling alley and dual pools. So not just one pool, maybe a his and her. I don't know. Preston Hollow, Flower Mound, each got a ranch one. That one's okay. Those are neat, but man, oh man, some nice places. If anybody wants to buy these, call me for the mortgage. Going back to Elon, his Falcon 9 has had, let's see if I put the stats in here if I was smart enough to do it. The cost is 1/100th of a shuttle flight that our government we're paying for with NASA. He's doing these flights at 1/100th of the cost, and he's done 30x the amount of launches that they've done. And I think it was over like a 30, yeah, there it is, 30 years. So NASA in 30 years has launched 135 missions. So 30 years. Somebody with a 30-year mortgage would be paying that mortgage off today. And during that time, 135 missions by NASA, that we pay for as taxpayers. Elon Musk in 2024 has already done 119. Isn't that insane? Again, don't care if you love him or hate the guy, you got to respect him. And then lastly, loan officers and realtors asking their parents for 2 Christmases in a row because they're just trying to buy their kids some present. I'm once again asking you for money. If you guys do know somebody out there buying, selling, refinancing, certainly tell them to follow us, like us, call us, all that fun stuff. You guys know what to do. We appreciate you watching as always. Elon Rich is Musk. I think that's Elon Rich. Elon Rich is Musk. Yes, that's probably true too. Elon Musk is rich. Enjoy your day. Reach out to us if you have any questions. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. And by the way, side note, job reports comes out tomorrow. That is a big deal. I know I mentioned that at the very, very end. We'll do a post, I'm sure, about it tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.